Hi Scorpio, how's it going? We're here with your reading for mid-June. Welcome. First card out is Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is an auspicious thing to be seeing. Wheel of Fortune can represent there being a change that's happening, so it can feel like a change in direction or a change in the wind. It's going to be for the betterment of you, because it speaks about expansion, growing, learning. I'm seeing Ace of Cups. Looks like this is going to bring you a connection of some sort. Ace of Cups will be something that, like, internally you can connect with. So it'll feel like emotionally I'm connected with this, or inspirationally I'm connected with this. That type of thing. I also see this Ace of Cups as being you connecting with something that's like pure joy, or something that feels like really pleasant or very sweet, or you can be having fun doing something and you could feel like you hadn't been doing that before. Like this Ace of Cups feels like a relief, or like I'm just enjoying this right now, or I'm genuinely laughing right now, or I feel touched in a light way by this. Like it can be some type of levity that's going to come through that is not necessarily what you had been feeling before, but it only happens as like a shift occurs. So the Wheel of Fortune is like, we're going in this direction, the wheel shifts, and now we're going to go that way, and this way is towards the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups will be that thing that is like ushering in this light into your life. Ace of Cups is something that can feel like the beginning of something or a new chapter. This looks like a social thing. I'm seeing you connecting. You can connect with someone. There can be other people that are involved in this. There can be a new connection. This can be a friendship or something like that. It can be something like you have a certain thing that you like, and then you meet somebody and they also like that same thing. I'm seeing stuff about commonalities, but it's coming from a very genuine place. Like this isn't you're meeting somebody and being like, they think you have a lot in common with them, and that's not really true. This is Ace of Cups is going to be something that you genuinely connect over, and there being greater connection because of that. Like compatibility, it feels like. And this can also be like before, if this isn't a new, some of you this is going to be a new friend, or like a new friend group, or new people, or new person coming through. Others of you this can be like, I hadn't been seeing my friends, or I hadn't been seeing this one friend because I'd been doing this and that or whatever. Wheel of Fortune is like now things align and there's a connection, or there's a hangout, or there's an event, something like that that happens, and I'm seeing you genuinely feel connected. So this isn't one of those things where it's like you're in a crowded room and you feel lonely. This is like you are in a crowded room and you feel connected, or you're with that one other person and you're like, this is genuinely like lighting up my heart space, like that type of thing. Like it's genuinely fun for you is what I'm seeing here. Looks like there's like chatting that's happening, sharing that's happening. I'm seeing communication be involved. You can feel like you get a little bit in your head, or you're in more of a cerebral energy. Maybe you feel emotionally like you're connecting, but mentally you have a lot going on, because I'm seeing something kind of chaotic mentally that's happening. But that can just be part of this for you. You know, maybe you feel like there's a part of you that's present and another part of you that's also working through some stuff or working with some stuff. That's just the spot where you are, you know? This can also be something that you're sort of owning now at this point. Like, I do have this stuff going on, or I do have this stuff on my mind. The sun feels like, and I'm going to express that, or I'm accepting that about myself, like those sorts of things. Kind of like taking it on and being like, this is my journey, you know, and having that sense of respect or love for that. Okay, you're going to be getting a break is what I'm seeing. So maybe you felt like whatever it was that you were doing, you weren't getting a break. I'm seeing a break be happening. So you're going to get to relax. There can be a part of you that has a hard time doing this sometimes. Or you can just be in a situation where it's difficult to do that for some reason. Vulnerability, it seems like, is needed. That can be something that feels challenging in this situation. It's one of those times where you like want to connect, but it can be difficult to, or it can feel like a challenge to, or you can feel like it takes a lot of your energy to do that. What's going on that you feel so tired? Something is happening. So I'm seeing that you have something going on that's in development currently. I'm seeing you get like a short break from this, which feels like it's needed because I'm seeing something that feels exhausting, and it's something that's a process. So you have to like continue investing in this, like continue watching it. Can feel even like I have to keep putting in the work. I feel like communication is part of this too, where maybe you're in a situation where it's like you gotta talk a lot, you gotta communicate a lot, you gotta like let this other person or these other people know what's on your mind. But the way that I'm seeing this King of Swords be is that it's like, where do I even start? Like there's so much going on, it's hard to clear out space in here to even get anything to come out, you know? Like it feels like there's just so much stuff that's been building and building and building, and you can feel like very impacted by that right now. But you can also be in a spot too where you're like, this is just the stuff that I gotta do here. I think you're also working on something important. Like having Seven of Pentacles and having the Emperor is like, these are important things that I have going on within my life right now that are like the pillars of my current situation. But Seven of Pentacles is like, these are the things that I'm working on. So it may be stuff that hasn't fully materialized yet. It's very draining, and you also feel like taking mental breaks is really important as well. Getting time to rest is really important because something is very exhausting. So it's like if you're going to be using your phone all day, you know you need to like charge it to 100%, but it's like that with you, with like yourself. Like if you expect to get all of this energy out of yourself, you're gonna have to make sure that you're resting just as much and like recovering just as much, because I'm seeing this be a process where it's like, this isn't just rest once and use your energy once. This is like rest, use your energy, rest, use your energy, rest, use your energy, and it's like on and on and on and on, but it's for something that you have going on that's really important. Like the Emperor can be like, I'm trying to achieve something really big here. This is a very important aspect of my life. It can be like I'm getting a degree. It can be like I'm doing this for my family, or I'm like trying to buy a car. Like whatever this is that you have going on, it can be something that feels like this is a big goal of yours. It can even just be about like self-work or something that you're doing, or like something in your personal life, or it can be like career development. Like whatever this is that you have going on, it's something that feels like very, very significant right now for where you are right now. And so it's worth it to you, but it's something that takes discipline, it takes mindfulness, it takes, I'm hearing inventing yourself. Maybe there's something that you're developing here, that you're building upon, that you're working. I get this energy too that when you're grounding and when you're resting, like you feel more settled when you check back in. So that can also be something that's coming to light where you feel like a growing sense of confidence with you and what you're doing. Like I'm starting to get a hold of this. I'm starting to understand this. I'm getting into the rhythm here. You're going to be achieving something major, I'm seeing. This is looking really good for you, Scorpio. There's stuff about the past that's coming up. This may be something that you're in this space of reframing, or there can be an expanding perspective. Something that could have felt so intense that it felt overwhelming. Something that felt so intense that it was overwhelming. I feel like your perspective on a lot of things are changing. This can be things that you were caring about, things that you're working towards, goals that you have. But certain stuff that you thought before may have been like one specific way. You could feel like there are things that you're sort of starting to understand that are different than how you initially thought, or there's more to it, it feels more like, than you initially thought. I think too, being in a space where there can be some like communication that's being worked on, or just some mental stuff that's being worked on. I do see something socially here happening. So I feel like in order to invest in something that you want to connect with, and this can be a relationship, or it can be a group, or it can be a club, or like whatever, the co-workers, whatever this is, I'm seeing you be in a spot where you're like, I'm trying to invest in it to nurture it and to allow this to build and stabilize, but you can be at a point where you're in the developmental phase of this, and so you have to keep tending to it and figuring things out. And it also feels too like you being in a space where you're expressing yourself is also important. Even though you can be like, there's still so much more that I have to say, or so much more that's in here, you can feel like you're like starting to get the ball rolling is what this is feeling like. Like, I don't just have to sit here with this surrounding me and starting to crush me. I can like air it out a little bit is what this feels like. I get to like this King of Swords specifically can sometimes be like a little bit of a rigid energy, and that may be something that you're sort of expanding beyond. That doesn't mean like you're changing completely, but it can be like, before I would have never done this, and now I'm sort of more open to this. Like before I would have avoided something like that, and now I'm like, it scares me and I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Or like, I'm nervous right now and I'm gonna like try to sit with this and work through it, you know, like that type of stuff that's happening here. Okay. Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot is going to be like, there's a shift in direction, and something happens where you feel like whatever was a block before, that could have even been like, I don't know if we're going to be able to work through this, and then it ends up like you work through it. Because Wheel of Fortune again is going to be that shift in direction, but it can be something that feels out of your hands, where like you don't really have control over like if the wall would go down or not, and you're like, we may be stuck here forever. I don't know if this wall is ever going to go down, and we have to wait, you know, and then it goes down and you go through. It's like that type of thing that it feels like, but it can shift like very quickly. But it was time for this to happen is what I'm seeing, because Wheel of Fortune I see as being connected with divine timing, and I'm seeing it be linked specifically with something that felt like a block before, or you weren't moving before, that now you're able to move through. And I'm seeing you feel at peace with something now. So this can feel like, I feel confident about this now, or I feel like I know what's happening, or I know where I'm going, or I'm more in touch with this part of myself. This also feels like a bit of a new energy that's being developed that you're taking on right now. And also working with the mental side of things more than anything. I'm seeing that be the major focus here. And also investing in important relationships. I'm also seeing that be part of this too. I'm laughing because I'm hearing "oh" out there, opera singing. All right, guys, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.